Well, guys, welcome back to the project. It's my last show of 2019. It's Frazer Campbell here, the project down at Bloop London in Holborn, in London. Yeah, so for my last show, I wanted to kind of do something a little bit special. Well, in particular for a special friend of mine. That sounds weird, doesn't it? A special friend of mine, Mr. Dan Formless. So it's the name that many people know. You know, from Hoxton FM, from Forward Movement, from his DJing, his production. So I'm going to have a little chat with him later on today for lots of different reasons, which I'll go into later on. So you're going to have about sort of 20 minutes or so of me, 25 minutes, and then we're going to have a nice little interview, or I can pass some questions. So I'm going to put him on the spot and see how he deals with it, being under the spotlight for a change, you know. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and it's a blessing to have him here for my last show. You know, that's probably. I'm not going to say too much about me today. It's not about me today. It's about Mr. Dan Formless, and that's weird because I love to myself. Because I'm the most important, but not today. It's Mr. Dan Formless today. So it's the project. It's on Bloop London.
And you'll come back.
Tune in. It's going to be a nice show. It's Wednesday evening in London.
When does it begin? And you'll come back. And you'll come back. When does it begin? 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 And you'll come back. And you'll come back. Hold the thought in your mind. And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. When does it begin? When does it begin? And you'll come back. 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 Hold the thought in your mind. And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. Hold the thought in your mind. And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. Hold the thought in your mind. And you'll come back. When does it begin? And you'll come back. When does it begin?
gosh, we have a little bit of feedback, but
Just like old times.
just like old times, mate. Just like old times. You can't listen. It's not a radio station unless you have a little bit of feedback. Right, the music is down, so I did everything I was supposed to
Turn
do.
the booth down.
I might need the management to assist me. No, it's going to be over. It's over here somewhere. So, 1 second. I'm just going to grab my phone actually, not my beer. Okay, so welcome, Mr. Dan Formless. This is quite unusual for me to be interviewing you. This is different.
Yeah, it's like being a driver and now I'm the passenger.
Yeah, in a car that's broken. We've already cracked that joke.
Yeah.
We came up with a couple of jokes beforehand, and well, mainly I did, and they weren't so good.
Well, there's just that you're going to change all the questions that you told me you were going to ask.
I wouldn't do that because actually I would be fun to do it just to throw you off, but it would throw me off more because you're a professional and I'm not.
It feels really, really weird. Really, really weird being asked questions rather than asking them. But they're very good.
Well, cool. Yeah,
They made me
we're
think.
pretending that you've never seen them before, but so obviously lots of people know you for many different reasons. But I suppose maybe one key thing, perhaps, which is a very key thing, is Hoxton FM.
I thought you were going to say that I did an interview with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's we're going to come to that. That's like that was the money shot. That one. Thank you. So yeah. So I'm going to read my questions here. It doesn't look so professional, but I'm going to read them so it looks like I kind of know what I'm doing. So how long has it been since Hoxton FM closed down?
So in February it will be 2 years. So we closed the Hackney Road studio on the 3rd of February 2017.
Yeah.
So I think that's right.
17. Well, 17. Yeah, we're in 19 now. So it's kind of like 2 years.
It's going to be nearly 3 years then.
Yeah, well, it's 2020, mate. 2020
Wow.
around the corner.
Wow, time flies
Time flies when
you're flying around the world.
when you're flying around the world and having a good time. I'm missing the station, I may add, but that's me. So yes, but it's been a little while, and I suppose one question. This is actually a question I was actually really keen to ask. Did it fulfil your expectations? Your plan. I mean, I appreciate you probably had a lot of different ideas, a lot of different avenues that you wanted to go down, but how it kind of manifested itself into what it was, into the machine that it was. Did it do what you wanted it to do?
We never had a real plan. Like, I fell into radio. I realised you could do live streaming from like venues and stuff, just the audio. I really, really liked the idea of it. Me and some other guys, we were on another station. They weren't that keen on it. We broke away, started our own station. There were 3 other founders who all went on to other projects, differing projects all around the world. I was the one that was kind of so stubborn that I didn't kind of give it up.
Are you stubborn? Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But I kind of, when the whole video thing really opened up, when the bandwidths got broader, the technology got cheaper, just kind of took the opportunity and just kind of enjoyed playing with it and being able to do these live video
I suppose people take it for granted now. The whole live streaming thing is just like like everyone can do it. Everyone, you can have a little device, you can do this, do that. We obviously all have the platform to do it on. But I suppose back then, this is the thing, people forget that only a couple of years ago, it was like you couldn't really do that, Like Facebook Live, that wouldn't have been an option on your Facebook thing many moons, a couple of years ago, would it? I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, I can remember someone saying to me about Facebook Live was coming in, and I was absolutely adamant there was no way we were ever going to use it. 3 months later, we had every show on it. But it's just things change, things move on.
Yeah, sure.
But we had rapid growth during those kind of video days, and I just think when we got the eviction notice at the old studio, and everyone in that building.
Can I just add, the eviction notice was because of the building, wasn't because we were not good people.
Well.
Hang on, don't paint a good picture here, buddy.
Yeah, no.
Jeez.
We
Come on.
We were in there. Satec was in there. There were all sorts of amazing studios, amazing people in there, and we all got evicted. The whole building was sold. It's been levelled. We drove past it the other day.
We did.
It's very nice now.
Nicer.
Not much nicer.
A lot nicer.
So I mean, when I got into that building, it took like 3 months, like romancing the landlord to let a radio station come in and do stuff.
I know he was uneasy about that.
Yeah. He just didn't want loads of rappers roaming the corridors. That's what he pictured a radio station was, just loads of rappers coming and stealing stuff.
Well, it's
from
good that
other
we all
studios.
swerved and got more into house music and techno.
Yeah, reassuringly house and techno. It was just, we knew we'd only be in there for a certain period of time. We got like 3 and a bit years in that studio. When I got the notice, I thought, I've got to find another studio. I've got to do more of the same. But then because it was around Christmas when we were told, I kind of took a bit of time. I thought about it and I was like, where am I going to take it next? So I started to look at the future. Where am I going to take it next? And it's kind of like, we've been hitting 500,000 viewers every month. We had like 100 shows. I kind of got obsessed with making it more of a radio station. And I didn't really understand why I'd done that. It was just kind of like, let's see if we can.
Well, I suppose you got super absorbed in. It was a lot of work, man. So you were super absorbed in all that work. So it's kind of easy to, I suppose, to lose your vision of all these other ideas that you had with it, I suppose.
Well, and the other thing is that the more people you bring in, it's really nice. You know, it's everyone comes to do their show. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say highlight of their month, but they're really excited to do it. And you're kind of the one providing this platform.
Sure.
And you end up sacrificing a lot of your own goals and your own things. So when I first started doing the station, I had residencies at certain clubs. I was playing on a Sunday night to like a few hundred people. I was live streaming that as well. It was really good fun. But as I grew the station, I had to sacrifice
those things.
my
Yeah,
own
sure.
things. So the thing that always grated me was when you'd be there and it'd be people playing and stuff, and their guests would be there, and you talk to them for a while. And they go, "Oh, do you DJ?" And I was like, I've been playing for 20 years, you know, like...
While your mother was wiping your bottom, sir.
Yeah.
Or lady, may I tell you that.
And I think the first 3 or 4 years of the station, I didn't make any music.
Sure.
I said, I'm too busy. And then I realised you have to make the time, you have to, get on with it yourself. It's not going to just...
So it was a good time for some me time. But tell me, so... Was there a moment, like with the whole, whether it was a radio station show or whether it was a live streaming thing or whatever, a moment when you looked at it and you thought, yeah, this is why I did this. This is. Was there like one key thing? I mean, that's a difficult question to ask people sometimes. Is there one key thing that you enjoy or one key thing that you highlight of your career so far? And it's always like a real tricky question. Most people just kind of BS to some sort of answer, really. I would, but is there something?
To get to interview Derek May, like... basically in the grounds of a castle in Zurich on a beautiful sunny day with Normski.
Was the second best thing?
Yeah. Because we got to interview DJ Premier the next year.
Yeah.
Again in Zurich. So it was getting to work with the International Radio Festival. Sure. They were like reaching 100 million listeners each time they did the festival. And we would always do the first show. So to be able to do things like that and to play underground music, I remember playing Has by Alex Seller.
Sure.
And all these people, when we did it in Milan, all these people coming up to me going, what's this track? And I was thinking, yeah, you need to know this track.
It's underground house music. It's like really cool, yeah.
That's the thing.
Well,
that was the thing. Italian. That was the thing, to be able to kind of do that. But, I look back at it, it's like, yeah, you'd never imagine that you get the opportunity.
Sure. No, I can imagine that's still, it's international. I mean, yeah, I don't mean that it's as silly as I'm saying it, but international radio show, so that's big.
And so I mean that was really fun, really fun. But those times pass, and then it's like, what am I going to do next? How am I going to better that? And to be honest, I didn't really feel like there was any way to better what we'd done, and. Being this platform for everyone else, it was, people were saying, oh yeah, you've got to find somewhere else. I was thinking, there's a lot of other stations out there. Sure. There's a lot of really, really great stations springing up. Obviously, Bloop is one of them. I knew everyone would find another place.
Sure.
I gave the option for people to keep on doing live streams from venues, but they had to find a location. And I think everyone really, really wanted to be in a studio because it's that comfort zone.
It was kind of like a hub. It was also a hub. It was a great hub for a massive connection with all of us. Like everyone that's here today is through that.
Exactly. I never would have got to meet...
There's people outside at the moment, but yeah.
I never would have got to meet any of the people that I call friends now on the scene. Like it's because it's all moved on.
No, absolutely.
But actually coming somewhere like here and seeing this really, really nice setup, I kind of realised that we'd outgrown that space that we were in.
Yeah, sure.
It was really, really obvious now. You're looking around here. It's like... but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work.
I'm sure it was a lot of work. So I suppose, so kind of might lead me into my next kind of question. So it was Hoxton Forward Movement. So the Hoxton FM thing is kind of like now going to change. So it's now going to be more based on forward movement. So what's that? Tell me.
It's primarily it's still the same ethos of sharing inspiration, but it's trying to go in a little bit deeper. It's trying to tell stories. So obviously, we've done we're kind of doing these Who Is interviews. So the first one was with you.
It was.
And I really felt like a lot of people didn't really know who you were. They see this kind of smiling guy playing at parties, big beard, but they don't know these kind of details, these sacrifices you've made.
Sure.
You know, I've seen your progress, so it's kind of that trying to tell that story, trying to go in a little bit more depth. Just to inspire people to.
I suppose people like to see a little bit of like what's really going on. You know, we can all paint a picture on social media. It's quite easy to do that, but it's quite nice, I suppose, which was your great idea to see the real shit. Let's say, excuse my French, but it's I mean, it's important. It's something that people relate to. People want to hear about, I suppose. Yes, I mean, talking about that. So you have further plans for that? I mean, obviously, I was very blessed. And I'd like to say publicly, I'm very thankful for that, and thank you very much. It was a real honour to be the debut show for that one. I mean, that's incredible. I'm eternally grateful. You know that.
No, yeah,
but
absolutely.
Is there more you have? But enough about me.
I've got.
So who next? Who next? Who next?
Enough
Who
of
next?
me
Tell
talking about me. What do you think about me?
Yeah. Who else wants to talk about me? Come on.
The other people I've got lined up who you'll have heard of, who you know personally, are not answering my calls at the moment.
That's
But I've got a few other people that you won't have heard about. There's really, really talented DJ called Ruby, who she was based in Barcelona. She was a guest on one of my shows. She's now moved out to Myanmar, and she's doing a party out there. And I'm planning to go out there, catch up with her, see what she's doing out there. She's literally kind of creating a little scene out there by herself, and then getting these amazing guests. I think she had Exos.
Sure. Oh, nice.
Who's released on Mosaic. So that's kind of in the next few months. I'll do that. I've got a whole load of other videos coming out, like one on the best record shop in the world.
Yeah, sure.
You know, these sorts of things. But and there's live streams, so I've now got it so that I don't need all this equipment to live stream. I can do it off a mobile phone.
I don't want to cut over you about this, because I know you've got an awful lot of stuff going on. That actually was one of our questions, but we're kind of like jumping around. But the video, I'm interested to see, and people will be interested to hear. So the video thing, was that something that just manifested itself, or did you always have a little thing about that, or where did that come from? Where was that?
Skateboarding. I was always a skater from like 6 years old, watching skateboard videos, totally like blown away by them, the way they were put together.
Sure.
Trying to take my dad's camcorder, which was like a big heavy camera on the shoulder.
One of those jobbies, yeah.
And the video recorder that you had to lug around in like a.
You're obviously a lot older than me, mate. I don't know that.
And then we're the same age, mate. You know that.
No, we're not, mate. I'm silly.
Trying to skateboard around with that, recording the VHS recording onto Betamax, recording it back. All this stuff. I've been doing it for so long and failing badly. And basically, as the technology comes along, I would never have imagined that you can do everything on a phone. It's
quite incredible, really. It is actually quite incredible.
It's really, really great, and I've always enjoyed doing it. It's quite a labour-intensive thing, and I would say my big challenge is being a perfectionist and things never being quite good enough. And the beauty of doing live radio was it just had to be done. You had to get on with it, and then you had to move on, and that really kind of got me doing stuff. So.
Must stress you out though, man. You are like a total perfectionist. And it's tricky to get stuff live good, you know.
I would say when we got Normski joining the station very early on,
he's here.
He's like a consummate professional. He could just do anything. He could tread water like with an audience when we're trying to get some connection to work. He could do it for 5 minutes. So I learned so much from him, and it's just a case of.
That's a good guy to learn it from.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's always got that kind of the show must go on attitude, and it's just, you know, we had some really amazing people through the station, and you see how people do it. You know, there's a lot of common themes, but you know, everyone kind of has that work ethic.
Sure.
The determination, they get through the setbacks.
It sounds kind of cliche, but you only get out of it what you put in, man. That's it. And sometimes not even that. Yeah. Sometimes that's not even enough. God darn the music industry. So anyway, I won't go off on that tangent. But enough about that. More about you personally, rather than these bigger things that you're creating. So music-wise, I mean, what's happening? I mean, you're working on production. You've got a lot of stuff floating about at the moment. I mean, you're pinging me bits all the time. I mean, there's stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, what's happened? That's kind of like ramped up to Mach 3 levels at the moment.
finally got a bit of time. Yeah.
Mm.
Got a whole load of stuff coming out with Tilev on his label Subtatic. Been working with him for a couple of years now. It's a little bit more techie.
Sure.
When I was in Berlin recently, I was working with Locic. He was working in a record shop. There was a studio in the basement, and we were just jumping down in that studio. And
It wasn't selling many records. Sorry to dob you in there, mate.
He sold a load to you when you came.
Oh yeah, he ripped me right off. Oh, in there. I didn't realise it was
in the
there.
basement. In the basement, they cut.
Yeah,
They
I've
cut
got an awful lot
vinyl.
of records I don't play.
They-
But that
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
his fault. That wasn't
They
his fault.
they
got very
cut
excited.
vinyl in that studio. It's called
They do, yeah.
Berliner Vinyl Works. So if you want to get your dub plates cut, go there. We
So that's
made
good.
like,
Are you enjoying it? So you enjoying the whole production process? You're enjoying that?
working with different people has been really fun. And like with him, we made 3 tracks in a week.
Yeah.
Then I went back to work with Ivan Tilev. We made 3 tracks in a day. So it was just we're getting like really prolific, getting loads of stuff
That's
done.
mad.
But what I was realising, and what's always been in the back of my mind, everyone I've always worked with, it's like you are making a bit of a compromise working with these people.
Sure.
And it's just like I need to do stuff by myself. I need to.
Well, that leads so smoothly on to the next question, mate. We nailed this stuff,
Yeah.
mate. Nailed it.
No one will know the people.
Nailed it. So, I didn't echo that. You said that. Studio. What's happening? You're constructing, but you're not just constructing like a studio. You're constructing like a studio.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
I've
There's a
been
lot of racks, some of which I gave you.
Yes.
There's stuff.
There's stuff.
It's happening.
There's some kit in there.
It's going to happen.
I just come back from Japan with a Black Corporation Kajimi synth, which is, well, the salesman said it, but he said it's the best synth ever made.
Sold. I'll have one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah, cool. I love it.
Insane. I kind of feel like at the moment I'm a little bit, that guy, all the gear, no idea. But
It's done me all right.
yeah. But it's that thing of you want to have something original to bring to the party to do something. You don't want to just be. There's this weird thing where, because I've worked with loads of sample packs and stuff. When you hear a track that's come out and you're like, oh, I know that came from that,
Yeah.
and that came from that, and I know people can do that with synths as well.
Mm.
So it's just about like, I've got a clear idea what I want to do. I've got all the kit there. I've almost got all the wiring. I'm running out of excuses.
Yeah, you run out of excuses, buddy.
to just.
Although I have said to you a couple of times, I'm going to come over and try and give you a hand we'll work out.
Yeah, we've only got one hand to use.
I've only got one hand and a
at
bad
the
back.
moment. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not coming, man. You got to do
And
it, so.
and also I've been bugging Alex Seller quite a lot and getting.
Mr. Seller smells great.
Does he? I never get that close.
I think he's a bit freaked out. Anytime I speak to him, I say, "You smell good." He goes, "Thanks." I'm a bit weird like that. I like to make people feel weird.
He knows so much.
He's a super talent. He's a super talent.
Super
for sure.
talent, really good guy. Like playing me all the stuff he's making right now, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Yeah,
It's
just
just super depressing. So Alex, just give it up, mate. Just give it up. Just give it. Just leave it alone, mate. We love you, Alex. Mr. Seller, we love you. Don't worry. We love
But
you.
I think he's going to also pay me a visit to make sure I get on with it. But
So tell me, we're
Yeah.
coming into the end of the chitter chat here, buddy. So I'd just like to say, what do you think? Your answer. I mean, don't feel awkward about how you would answer this, but with the year 2020 coming up, loads of people say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this all different, I'm going to do that all different." No, I'm not doing anything differently than I've been doing because just going to keep injuring myself and just ploughing through my year. Would you do anything differently in 2020 than you did in 2019?
would I do anything differently? No.
Cool.
No, I think I'm really excited about 2020. I've got a lot of things lined up, a lot of green lights on things. I understand that all the stuff I had to do in 2019 has helped me to get to
Sure.
that point. So
Progression. I know it kind of sounds a little bit, but it's true. Things just progress. I mean, stuff builds up from year to year to year.
yeah, I'm really happy with the way everything's going. I feel like it's kind of taken me a bit of time to find my feet, to kind of look around at the just the environment. Obviously, I'm spending more time in Berlin, spending quite a lot of time in Tokyo. So it's just kind of trying to take those influences meeting some amazing people. I just kind of got a whole load of filmmaking to do, music to write.
Yeah, you're busy. You got stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, you do an awful lot of stuff that people probably don't even realise you're doing, like stuff at RA, stuff. You just like lots of filmmakery stuff all over the place. So it's like, yeah, people maybe don't realise that you're actually doing that. So you're pretty busy, man. You're pretty busy.
Yeah, RA, Ableton, Fabric. Don't like to name drop.
No, don't like to name drop. Well, Mr. Dan Formless, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'd like to thank you personally for everything you've done for me.
Oh,
do some handshakes, and it's great to have you on the show, my last show of the year.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some tunes.
I know this show's over.
Oh right.
Yeah, no, it's music time. I'm going to switch your mic off. I'm going to spit some bars for a bit. It's the project. It's myself, Frazer Campbell. I'm very, 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 very happy to have my good buddy, Mr. Dan Formless, and there's a whole crew here as well. And obviously, there's the legendary Mr. Norms.
It's so good to see you guys. You know what? It's been a while since the three of us have been in the same room together.
It has been a little while.
2 out of the 3 of us are completely injured. We're mashed up. It's fit.
It's actually probably quite a good idea, to be fair. Look, it's Bloop London. It's music time.
love you.
I love you too.
Is it too late to say I love you? following. Has a big following.
And I hate fucking you now because I love fucking you too much.
fucking you and thinking these things would take me away from you, would take me away from you, would take me away from you, would take me away from you. And all I want is to be close to you. Fuck you for letting me fuck you now. I've been a shit. What good's the head of my cock inside you when my other head, the one with the brain, keeps thinking how fucked up everything is, how fucked up everything is, how fucked up everything is, how fucked up everything is. When all I want is to be close to you. When all that connects us is this fucking cock, which is as lost inside you as I am here in the dark. But fuck you for letting me fuck you now. Fucking you and thinking, fuck. And I hate fucking you now because I love fucking you too much. What good's the head of my cock inside you when my other head, the one with the brains, keeps thinking how fucked up everything is? How fucked I am to be fucking you and thinking these things which take me away from you, which take me away from you, which take me away from you, which take me away from you. When all I want is to be close to you. Fuck you for letting me fuck you now. What good's the head of my cock inside you when my other head, the one with the brains, keeps thinking how fucked up everything is, how fucked up everything is, how fucked up everything is, how fucked up everything is. When all I want is to be close to you. When all that connects us is this fucking cock, which is as lost inside you as I am here in the dark. But fuck you for letting me fuck you now. Fucking you and thinking, fuck.
sort of response for what we are doing in a very new way. And we must be very shall I say,
trying to be so professional about this. That's so tricky. Dan, just like to thank you very much for joining me on the last show of 2019. Come on, guys, where's the claps and stuff? It was a pleasure to have you, mate.
Thank you very much. I forgot to say something.
Did you? But did someone remind you, or you just remember now that you've forgotten?
As soon as we stopped talking, I realised I hadn't mentioned that one of the tracks I played in there is coming out on Yama Music, which is one of my favourite labels.
Oh, right, and that's distributed by Yakko Music, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. And I think one of the founders is right here.
Wow, and his name is
Yama Music.
we have half of Yama Music in the house.
St. Bernard.
St. Bernard. It's you know what? It's one of these things you always like have all these things to mention, and you can sometimes forget. So it's like it's difficult, but you know. Mr. Dan Formless, it was a pleasure, my friend.
Thanks so much for having me. Really enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure. It's Bloop London. Have a great Christmas, even though it's like a couple of weeks away, but still have a great Christmas. Don't fall in canals or do anything silly. Top tip. It's a real top tip.